Let's count one, Mr. O'Neill. I will adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to life in prison with a minimum mandatory of life in prison without the possibility of parole. On count three, I'm going to sentence you on the attempted murder, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to life in prison. On count four, on the arson, first-degree dwelling, I will adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 30 years Florida State Prison to run.
So this Florida man is about to cross-examine his own son in court, the same son he tried to murder. And I have a feeling this one's going to mess you up. March 18th, 2018, Riverview, Florida. It's the middle of the night and 911 operators receive a call from a woman named Kenyatta Barron. And immediately they can hear screaming. They can hear chaos. They can hear Kenyatta yelling that someone is trying to kill her. And then the line goes quiet. Because Kenyatta Barron is being murdered while on the phone with 911. The person killing her is her boyfriend, Ronnie O'Neill III. And he's not just killing Kenyatta. He's about to kill their 9-year-old daughter and try to kill their 8-year-old son. So Ronnie snaps. Nobody knows exactly why, but he attacks Kenyatta with a hatchet and a knife. He beats her. He stabs her repeatedly. And the 911 call captures her final moments, screaming for help while their children are in the house. After Ronnie kills Kenyatta, he turns on the children. He murders his 9-year-old daughter, Ron Nevaeh, stabs her to death, and then he goes after his 8-year-old son, Ronnie O'Neill IV. He stabs the boy multiple times, and then he sets the house on fire, with his son still inside. But here's the thing, the boy survives. 8-year-old Ronnie somehow escapes the burning house. He's been stabbed, he's been set on fire, and he runs to a neighbor's house screaming for help. Now police arrive at the scene, and the house is engulfed in flames. And Ronnie O'Neill III is standing outside covered in blood. And instead of surrendering, he attacks the officers. It takes multiple officers to tackle him and get him in handcuffs. So Ronnie is arrested and charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of attempted murder. The evidence is overwhelming. The 911 call, the body cam footage, his surviving son. There's no question about what happened. But here's where this case becomes absolutely insane. Ronnie O'Neill decides to represent himself at trial. He fires his lawyers, and he's going to defend himself in court against charges that he murdered his girlfriend and daughter and tried to kill his son. Like, can you imagine? The trial starts in 2021, and right away it's chaos. Ronnie is interrupting. He's yelling. He's arguing with the judge. The judge has to remove him from the courtroom multiple times because he won't stop disrupting everything.
But if Mr. Khalil Brown was a help to them prove they would have called Mr. Khalil Brown. But I called Mr. Khalil Brown to be
Now the prosecution presents their case, and part of that case is the testimony of Ronnie's surviving son. The boy is now 11 years old, and he has to take the stand and describe the night his father tried to kill him in front of a room full of strangers, in front of the man who did it. And because Ronnie is representing himself, he has the right to cross-examine witnesses, which means he gets to question his own son, the son he stabbed, the son he set on fire. And the courtroom footage of this moment is absolutely gut-wrenching. Ronnie stands up and starts asking his son questions. The boy is terrified. He's looking at his father, the man who tried to murder him. And Ronnie asks, "Did I hurt you that night?" And the boy with tears in his eyes says, "Yes." He says, "Yes, you killed my mom. You killed my sister." And Ronnie just keeps questioning him, like he's trying to prove the boy is lying. The prosecution also plays the 911 call. Ronnie is sitting there listening to himself kill the mother of his children, and he shows zero emotion, nothing. But here's where things get even more disturbing. When it's time for closing arguments, Ronnie gives one of the most bizarre courtroom performances ever recorded. He starts rapping, he starts singing, he's yelling at the jury, and at one point he literally screams, "I done killed somebody." He's admitting it in his own closing argument while trying to defend himself. The judge and prosecutors are watching in disbelief. Ronnie is convicting himself. He's ranting about how the system is against him, making no sense. And the jury is sitting there watching this man self-destruct in real time. So on June 21st, 2021, the jury deliberates. And it doesn't take long. They come back with guilty verdicts on all counts. First-degree murder for Kenyatta. First-degree murder for Ron Nevaeh. Attempted murder for his son. Guilty across the board. When the verdict is read, Ronnie barely reacts. No shock, no emotion. He just sits there. Family members give victim impact statements. They talk about Kenyatta, about Ron Nevaeh, about the trauma inflicted on the surviving boy. And it's heartbreaking to watch. The jury decides on life in prison without the possibility of parole. No death penalty. Ronnie O'Neal will spend the rest of his life behind bars. He'll never get out, never see daylight as a free man again. And here's what really gets me about this case. That 8-year-old boy had to sit in a courtroom and be questioned by the man who tried to kill him. He had to relive that night in front of everyone. He had to say out loud that his father murdered his mother and sister. And Ronnie showed no remorse, no empathy, nothing. Just stood there interrogating his own traumatized child like it was normal. So I guess the reminder here is this: domestic violence escalates, and when someone shows signs of violence, of instability, those signs shouldn't be ignored. If this case impacted you, let me know in the comments below. And if you want to see more true crime stories like this, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next one.